All right, folks, what is good? First and foremost, I want to thank you guys for the support on the podcast. People are going over there to Rumble and watching the podcast is really awesome. And on top of that, people are still listening over here on YouTube. That's pretty cool. I really appreciate that. We are growing and moving as we speak. A little bit over 1,500 subs on YouTube. I'm trying to get to that 50 followers on Rumble so we can start getting that rolling. So if you're over there or if you haven't made it over there, I'll put the link down in the description so you can check that out. I really appreciate it. I'm going to talk Falcons really quick because the podcast episode is going to be different. I am really impressed with the Falcons, how they have been handling this head coaching vacancy. I think they've done a pretty good job. I think they're over a dozen. I think they're up to 14 or 15 guys that they have interviewed so far. I think that's really, really cool. You want to cast your net really wide and try to get everybody, a chance to speak their case or figure them out or who they are as far as making them the next head coach. And it's really awesome to see because not just the the diversity things that everybody talk about, but just diversity of ideas and how many people are going to be making the case on why they should be the coach, talking about their philosophy. Coach, is a big deal. Coaching is a big deal in the NFL nowadays. You see how far you can get with coaching. And when you get these guys in and they're talking to them in this first and second interviews, Coach, owner Arthur Blank and Rich McKay is really getting a lot of information there. And that's what I like to see because everybody's talking about Bill Belichick and everything that's going on there. And don't get me wrong, he's probably be the guy. I mean, that's, just my gut feeling. But just to get all of these other guys a chance and to listen and hear them out is pretty awesome too. I would like to have Jim Harbaugh personally. I have my personal reasons. My wife would be much more interested into the game if he's the coach because she likes him as a coach. And, that makes a good time. So, that's really cool. But I really like what they're doing. This just goes to show you that owner Blank is really serious about making this coaching hire, a successful one. And at the end of the day, that's, you want them to do their due diligence. So I appreciate them for that. Before I get out of here, we all know the news now. If you haven't found out now that Ryan Nielsen is not a defensive coordinator of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I kind of knew this was coming. Once, the head coach is hired, everybody else is pretty much going to fall apart. They're just going to go other places. And I didn't see a situation where you bring in a head coach and they kept the defensive coordinator. Don't get me wrong. I think that for what it's worth, I think he done a phenomenal job with the Falcons defense. And I know there's some people out here just want to be negative about it all of a sudden. And that's another deal that I don't want to get into right now, but it's funny how people will turn so quick on certain situations. 1 minute they love the defensive coordinator or they love a player, as soon as they're not here or they take another job, it's not like they turn on them. They just start making negative comments about them, like, oh, he did this, he did that. Well, where were you beforehand? I just can't stand when some people do that. But nevertheless, it was going to be inevitable that he was going to be moving on, and best of luck to him. I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars got a good one. And I would not be surprised if they come back and haunt us at some time with that defense. I don't want it to win, but I do want to make them tough if we play them again. But nevertheless, like I said before, I like what the Falcons are doing here. They're really doing the due diligence. At one point, with all these reports saying Bill Belichick's going to be the guy, but now you're starting to see that it may be more wide open than we think. So we're just going to sit back and watch. I have my picks. I'm a Jim Harbaugh guy. I don't mind bringing Ben Johnson in or whatever the case may be. There's a couple other guys as well. But I'm not really keen on Bill Belichick, and you already know the reasons why. I've talked about that before. So once again, thank you guys for going over there to Rumble, watching the podcast, listening to the podcast still here on YouTube, Apple, Google. All those avenues are still open, and you guys are lighting it up. I really appreciate it. I will be doing a podcast episode, and that will be up in the morning. That's going to be talking more Georgia Southern stuff. And if you're interested in that, please, check it out. I really appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Like this video, and I will see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all. I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all be blessed. Peace.